We call love what is romantic, for the interests of our body. But love means sacrifice for others, and we don't like that. Nothing else can help you but God. Don't think any man can ever help you. But suffering, pain, grief, loss, sickness is help. They are really divine help. I am the presence of God. All suffering and pain lower the ego. No medicine, no doctor, no priest. No one can take away your troubles. They're there for a purpose, to defeat our ego. Only the defeated heart. God will no longer torment it and lift up the stumbling blocks. We are naughty egos incarnate, coming here to be beaten and corrected through suffering. As long as we see evil everywhere, we are egos. Ego is not easily defeated. Ego doesn't listen. It is conceited and very mean, stubborn. He doesn't hear and doesn't listen to kind words. He's very fierce. He fights to kill you. And for what? For his truth. Therefore comes great suffering like a flood upon us. The greater our suffering, the better. When our ego suffers, the soul rejoices. Do not judge your neighbor, for judgment belongs to God. Every man carries within himself his struggle. It all ends in love in the end, no matter what. Always, without exception. Let us find cause for joy and hope in whatever happens to us. There's an ego there, and it will be destroyed. That's very good. The ego will have to become soul and unite with God. The body may suffer, but the soul is liberated. It is liberated by the realization that there is no evil and no guilty in the world. We are all ultimately condemned to love, but we have to go through trials and suffering to overcome our pride. We do not see that we are Lucifer in 1,000 forms. We come here to be bowed down, defeated, smitten, and our purpose is to be godlike, unbiased. The moment you make self-sacrifice, then there is no need for the outside to hit you, because it has nothing to hit you with. When you are love and acceptance and surrender, then only love will come from the front, and people cannot hit you. So God cannot strike you through them. Live for others, not for yourself. It is the greatest happiness on earth. When you do nothing else for yourself, for your own good, only then God comes to you, and you will be truly happy. On this earth, we cannot be brought into love except with his whip. The devil is the whip of God. The whip is his love for us. Why do people cheat? Because they don't love. If they were in love, it would be a state of total dedication, and they could not cheat. They could not betray. Because then there is respect when there is love, and the man you love becomes the only man in the world you love. Without him, you cannot live. When we live in the divine, below everything, we live in love, and love is never wrong. Love is protection. I mean heartbreaking. Love is uplifting. It is the union of souls, and it cannot happen except when man goes down. Into empty space he comes, and souls are one in love and in him. Nowhere to run. We never leave God's world. Everything that happens is him. There are only two persons, us and him. The rest are him. If we understood things that way, we would be more cautious or careful, respectful. No one stopped the hatred between people. People wait for the outside to come in, change their lives, and they do nothing for themselves, except to amass as much wealth as they can. Their wealth, that's their purpose. Then they complain, why does God strike them with sickness, misfortune, suffering? If you haven't changed anything about yourself, of course, you are always hating, judging, criticizing, accusing, blaming. You generate from the front attack from divinity to take you in peace, to destroy your hatred, anger, rage, anger. When does the soul speak? When you just appreciate, thank, and be grateful, when are you an ego? When you think evil, you condemn, blame, reproach, judge. Life on earth is like a school with many obstacles to help us develop. We were built to fall. We were not built to be happy in life, but to fall, so that we might live as souls. We can only be happy when we live as a soul. If we live as a body, no. If you don't desire matter, then you put love above matter. Then you love God with all your heart. Raising ladles is the greatest miracle. Only a broken heart can make God lift your suffering, not otherwise. People kiss bones in vain because God is not with them. God sees them. Aha! You flee from self-offering, so flee from me. Then you will suffer more because you value externals. You want a greater good for yourself. People who run away from self-sacrifice run away from love and God. God is self-sacrifice for others. And nobody wants to defeat himself, so nobody wants God. No one wants heaven, and no one wants love. How does a soul behave? He only knows how to love. Our soul is like a sucker. It never seeks its own. He forgives all, accepts all, and knows only to give. It does not react. It does not resist anything that comes from the front. It immediately accepts what comes. He yields on the spot. He gives himself up completely. Because of this, nothing outside can disturb or harm him. He is the supreme power. When love grows in you, the other can't be otherwise. The moment an unpleasantness arises, it is exactly the moment when we no longer have vital energy. The role of the unpleasantness is not that the other is making us a river, that he is to blame, but that we had inner weapons, and the other is turning back what we thought. The other is never to blame for anything. It is only we could no longer love him. So they attack us with the love in us. The only solution is always to give more love. The only way out of conflict is more love, because you appeal to the being of love. What is happiness? Don't be too proud. Pride can be measured. How much we blame the outside and see evil everywhere, so great is our suffering. If we realize that it is good the way things are, there is no need for trouble to come upon us. It's not people that hurt us, it's our ego. People actually destroy the ego and save our life and soul. So they do us good. All people who disturb us do us the greatest possible good. God through them. We're all egos who come here for defeat. It's juvie. If we don't give, we die. When you don't give, you lose massive subtle energy and demonize yourself. People close themselves to the divine when they gather only for themselves and begin to die. This is how they get sick or destroy their lives and the lives of their loved ones. When you go down, you open. When you go further up, you close like a zipper. The man who comes to you, whatever he is like, comes sent by God. He teaches you a lesson and helps you to free yourself from self. All that we reject is him. Love me with all your heart. That is, as I come to you, good and bad. Don't cut me to pieces or I'll come and destroy your absolutes. God is life as it is. He has no virtues, no ideals, absolute principles. If we put anything higher, he comes backwards. And so we find that he is both a fornicator and a sinner. He spits on us, he beats us, he tramples us underfoot. This is our God. He always destroys whatever we put first. Make sure of that. No one escapes. If the only prayer you say all your life is thank you, that's enough. Choose little, choose love. Our only mistake is that we are always looking for more than we need and going beyond the need. Then we demonize ourselves. Let's always go for less. Being well off makes a man dishonest, unchaste, and unhappy. What we lack is the little that is the presence of God. Go towards the little, and you will always be happy. The good state is lustful. The man who is broken-hearted will never betray love. We each swing. We cannot only be defeated with the heart. This is holiness, good and evil. Only the devil is only good. Man is made of plus and minus, good and evil. All mothers are condemned to a lifelong self-sacrifice if they want their children to be well. They cannot be stopped from their own experiences, by which their ego is ground down, is defeated, and thus they attain to wisdom, the wisdom needed to come closer to the divine. But the mother's defeat will protect them and not allow them to err any more.